So, hey, everybody, we're here in the SCRM machine shop with Jim Groening. So, what do we got going on today, Jim?
Well, what we have going on here is we recently received this Axelson lathe. We were lucky enough to get one. We have a smaller one. We have a 16-inch running now. That's our primary lathe that we use a lot of in here.
Okay.
Is the 16-inch. And we recently acquired this to 20-inch Axelson lathe.
So, what are we going to be able to do with this, and how's it going to help the museum?
This way here we have a job set up on that lathe. We can have a job set up on this lathe, and everything can run smoothly. And we're not stuck with one particular lathe. We have bigger lathes over here. We have the 33-inch LeBlanc, but you're limited. That's you want to use that on larger parts. You don't want to run a half-inch or a three-quarter inch or a 1-inch part on a 33-inch LeBlanc. You can, however, it's just more efficient if you can do it on something a little smaller and a lot easier.
And do you have any upcoming projects?
Well, we do. We have, like we mentioned in the past, I think we're going to be doing the journal boxes.
Okay.
The Emma Nevada journal boxes are coming up here pretty soon. And then a lot of custom screws that are tapered screws and things like that. And we'll be making also, from what I hear, the VC2 is going to be giving us quite a few flush plug projects going on that to make custom flush plugs for all their different diameters that they have in there, because each one is a little different. It's not like you can just look.
Like it was hand built.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for the machine shop. Let's go somewhere else. So, hey, everybody, we're here in front of the SCRM machine shop with Chris Baldwin, and Chris is going to give us an update on the goings-ons out here.
Well, we've had a real monumental move. As you can see, our two containers that have been out here forever have finally made their way back into the row, which I think makes the machine shop here look a lot better. The machine shop houses more than just the machine shop. We've got our unit room here that's for air brake maintenance. Our communications and electronics shop is in there as well. Some archival facilities. And there's a lot going on in there. So the new cleared space will give us room for our antenna tower that we're going to put up to improve radio coverage for the museum, give emergency services a little bit wider radio coverage. And we're really looking forward to it. It's going to look a lot better than it has in the past. We're trying to do some beautification around the museum and clear these areas out so that our visitors have a better experience visually out here at the museum. Emergency services is doing well. We just got a fire marshal that's volunteering with us, Andy Spada. We're looking forward to him coming on board and helping out. He's going to be in a leadership position, so that's going to be good.
So, you need any help with anything out here?
Absolutely. We can always use folks out here at the museum that are interested in getting involved. If you've got a police or fire or public safety background, maybe you're retired or looking for something to do, we'd love to have you on board. Emergency services can be mostly pretty slow out here, but volunteering with another department and doing this on the side is always great. But we need folks in operations, maintenance, all of it. So if you're at all thinking about, well, that might be interesting, come on out. If you're not a member, join up. $40 a year for your membership, and we can really use the help all across the board, John.
Okay, well, thanks, Chris. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll keep checking back with you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
So, hey, we're here with Chuck Painter. Want to see what Chuck's is up to. So, Chuck, what exactly have you been doing?
Well, we've been working, Frank Lyman and I, who's over there, we'll try to get in the picture. We've been working on putting the door gaskets back on these Comets that we had painted. We had to peel them off a couple of years ago when we got them painted. Never got around to putting the gaskets back on. I had high hopes of doing it all in a weekend. The average gasket takes about 4 hours. This particular one, we had to pirate off one of the scrappers. But the whole idea, make the cars look a lot more complete, and we don't have the wind noise.
So what are we going to use these cars for?
Well, this particular one, which still needs the windows worked on, is actually the sound car for Polar Express. So we don't use this in revenue service. The other Comet that we finished up last week, we do use in revenue service for, well, first we use it as a crew car for the Polar Express, and then we use it as an additional car on the Thomas train. So it does get some use. It was only missing one gasket, fortunately. This one is missing 4. Well, my help's right over there, greatest helper in the world, because he knows how to do things and I don't. I did a couple of these on my own. Took me about 8 hours, and my saying is, incompetence and determination will overcome skill anytime.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us, Chuck.
You bet. Take care.
We're in car house number 3 here with George Chapman. George, what car are we working on right here behind us?
It's LA Railway 665.
Okay, and is there anything significant about that car? Does it have any movie history or?
It belonged to the movie studio. That's how we acquired it. We didn't get it from LA Railway.
Okay, and how long have you been working on this project?
Uh, about 5 years so far.
Okay, and give us an idea of what you've had to do to this car.
Take away all the band-aids that were put on the car and make it historically correct. And
So,
the car is actually falling apart when it came in.
okay, so you call this a ground-up restoration?
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
A lot of rotten wood. Had to replace a lot of wood so far. But inside and out is going to have a complete retrofit.
Okay, and do you have any idea how much longer it's going to take you?
I would say 2 to 3 years longer.
Okay.
And it's a run. It is a running car.
Oh, very good. Okay, well there you have it. There's the update on the 665. Thanks, George.
Hey, you're welcome.
So hey, we're here in front of Barn 4 with Brian Smith. So Brian, what's going on with the VC2?
All right, we are getting VC2 ready to do our ultrasonic boiler testing. This is part of the required 15-year inspection as required by the Federal Railroad Administration.
Okay.
And so the last time we did this, we started in 2001 and finished in 2006.
Oh boy.
So we ran up until February of this year, and then had to take the locomotive down for its inspection. So what that entails is we have to get at the exterior boiler shell. Boiler shell has many things on it, like the cab,
Right.
the sand domes, air compressor, there's jacketing with insulation around the boiler. All of that has to come off, sometimes with the help of a crane.
So how long is this process going to take? Just to get down to the boiler?
Well, we're down to the boiler now. Today we're wire wheeling the exterior boiler shell to get it ready for the ultrasonic thickness testing.
Okay.
But after that, then that will show us where the thin spots are in the boiler, if there are any. The places that are thin will have to be either cut out and replaced, or perhaps built up with welding to get them to meet or exceed the strength specification.
So you guys have a schedule, or do you think you guys are ahead of the game, or where do you think you stand?
Well, I'd say right now we are on schedule. This is like last time it took us 5 years. This time, hopefully, it won't take quite as long because we have a better idea of what we're doing. And there have been things made to expedite the repair because this time around we're better prepared. But our best estimate right now is 3 to 5 years.
And okay, here's the big question: how much is it going to cost?
It's going to be somewhere between $150,000 and $200,000. We have about half of that raised in our coffers right now.
Okay. And is there any way that we could make donations to this project?
Absolutely. There is a VC2 page on Facebook that will lead you to a link to donate. Donations can be made directly to the museum, of course. And we actually have a contribution box here for visitors to put in contributions if they wish.
Very good. So you guys can always go to SoCalRailway.org to donate to the project of the VC2. Would any volunteers be needed?
We can always use more help. There are a lot of tasks. Some of them are just manual labor that we need assistance with. Also, if anyone out there has skills with welding or machining, that kind of thing is always welcome. There are many things to do, many skill levels.
Okay, well, thank you, Brian. So you heard it. They need help. They need money. So you can go to SoCalRailway.org or call the museum bookstore.
And come by the Barn 4 at the museum on the first and third Saturdays of the month, starting at 9 o'clock.
Okay, so we're here with Carson King, and we're going to be talking about the Run One program. So Carson, what's going on with our Run One program?
Well, our Run One program is where anybody can rent one of our locomotives or streetcars and run them for a solid hour, either up and back on our main line or if it's one of the smaller trolleys around our loop. It's available online on our website, socalrailway.org, under the Run One tab. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people get a lot of enjoyment out of that. They get to run these giant pieces of equipment that there are very few places in the country that you can get behind the controls of those and run them back and forth.
And approximately how much does this cost?
It depends on what you're running. The smaller streetcars, I believe, start at $150, all the way up to our largest locomotive, Santa Fe 108, at $350, I believe, although prices are, of course, subject to change.
And how far in advance do you need to book these?
Oh, I believe the website closes out about 2 weeks in advance. And there are obviously weekends of track work and things like that where we don't have openings for that weekend. That being said, if something comes up and somebody needs to schedule it kind of last minute, they can call into the bookstore and they can check and see what's available. So again, 2 weeks is what's on the website. Anything shorter than that, call in and we'll try to make it happen.
And one more question. What do we have sitting behind us right now?
2 locomotives. We have the Santa Fe 108, our FP45, as well as Southern Pacific 3100, our U25B. This is the last operating U25B in the country. There are a few others that are out somewhere that are cosmetically restored, but as far as still operational, this is the last one.
Cool. Thanks, Carson. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
We're now inside car house number 6, Grizzly Flats, and we're here with John and Susie LaPrince. And who's this with us?
Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. So what do we want to talk about today?
Well, Chloe is a good topic behind us. Chloe is ultimately being funded by donations from things like Ringing the Bell, and we've collected a bit of money that will assist in her restoration. But the main restoration effort right now is on Emma, Nevada, and Emma, Nevada has had her cylinders removed for repair work. And that should happen perhaps by the end of the summer at the rate that...
very nice. Yeah.
And
Good news.
that will allow us to perhaps begin putting parts back on instead of taking them off all the time. And we've had the wheels profiled. There's a lot of work being done, not in the building, but in our machine shop. They've completely revamped our machine shop. And the machine shop...
we were just there this morning. Yeah, it's looking really good.
As the parts come off and are in 2 or 3 pieces, they're being remanufactured as new parts in the machine shop. So a lot of exciting things, but it goes into a box waiting for the place to put it back on when things get put back on.
Okay, so what makes Chloe and Emma so important?
Chloe and Emma are potential living dinosaurs. Obviously, just went to an event up in Carson City where they had 9 operating steam locomotives. Had Emma been operational, she would have been invited as well.
And we're having a silent movie here, October 22nd, to also raise funds.
Organ accompaniment by a very famous organist who does things for the Theater Organ Society in San Diego.
So stay tuned for the time. And we need volunteers for 4 Barn 6. But we're going to be announcing the silent movie for October 22nd.
Yes, very soon.
All right, well, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today, and we'll keep checking back with you guys. And we're here inside the bookstore at the Southern California Railway Museum. I'm here with Jordan Stevens. He's dressed kind of like I am because he's in the operations department. So, Jordan, what's it like volunteering for you?
Well, what's it like volunteering for me is an excellent question. And honestly, it's a dream come true. I've loved trains ever since I was a really little kid. And just so, happened, as I've grown into a young adult, I really got to appreciate and love history as well. And I did a lot of research on the Pacific Electric, which ended up bringing me out here. I have loved the PE ever since I started learning about it. I've loved, trains, like I said, ever since I was a little kid. And what better place than to put the two together out here to be able to talk about the history of railroading in Southern California.
How did you come to be a volunteer out here?
I'm part of the Pacific Electric Facebook group. And one day I saw a post of the museum pulling out one of the PCC cars. And I just made a comment of how I'd love to, come out here and do that same thing. And John Cunningham here happened to respond to me and say, well, why don't you come on out and we'll teach you how to operate all of these. And that was on a Wednesday. I was out here that Saturday. Or you could just walk right in through the bookstore's front door.
Well, there you have it, folks.